Hey everyone, it's Miss Kabumba here. I'm so happy you clicked on my video. This is day 4 out of my 14 days of Christmas, and I'm going to show you how I made this entire outfit all by myself with the use of upcycling. Let's get into it. You're going to need a turtleneck. So I have this yellow turtleneck, and it's a little older. That's why there's holes, but we're going to fix that up. Then you're going to need this mesh top. What's great about this mesh top, I had a tank top underneath, and I'm going to utilize that. So maybe if you don't have a tank top, add a tank top to this collection, because then you'll need those 3 pieces. You'll need a bucket hat. Everybody loved the bucket hat accessory. A pair of jeans you're not going to wear anymore because we're going to cut these up. And lastly, you're going to need a skirt. This skirt I have has bleach stains on it, hence why I barely wear it since it had bleach stains after washing it. But now I know exactly how to upcycle it. So I'm going to show you guys how I did everything step by step in this in-depth tutorial. Let's go. All right. First, we're going to have the mesh top. And remember, I told you it has a tank top on the inside. We're going to cut that out. So grab your fabric scissors. Fabric scissors are different from regular scissors. Fabric scissors are made only to cut fabric. Do not use kitchen scissors on your fabric. Do not use crafting scissors on your fabric. Use fabric scissors. Okay? So we're cutting this up. Cutting. All right. So the way I cut it, I want to make sure that I didn't ruin the mesh top. And after cutting this up, we're going to flip it inside out. The thing about sewing is that everything needs to be inside out. Any video you see me sew, I always flip it inside out. Why? Because that's where you're going to see the stitch lines. If you sew it not inside out, you're going to see the stitch lines from the outside. It's going to look crazy. We don't want to look crazy. We want to look good. And because we want to look good, you got to stitch it from the inside out. So I put these 2 pieces together. You can use pins if you want to use pins. I'm not using pins, but I feel like if you really want to be careful, use the pins. Y'all, what's so funny about this is I fixed up this top. I'm not gonna lie, I fixed this top because I thought I wanted to use this as the undershirt until I realized the best undershirt would have been the turtleneck. But I'm taking you along my full creative process where I showed you what I thought looked good versus what actually looks good. So it turned out like that, and I was gonna sew it underneath the mesh top, right? Right now, I'm making sure I'm keeping the edge, the lining from the mesh top, because I thought the lining was perfect, and I'm not gonna do that again, right? So this is how I finesse by keeping the same lining. I pin it down all around. You see me pin. 1 pin there, 1 pin there, 1 pin everywhere. Yeah. And then you're gonna see me go around the machine, because you don't sew on top of all your fabric, okay? When it comes to sewing, you're not gonna sew on the front and the back of the fabric. Maybe I did it a little quickly here because this video is sped. I know, 20 minutes and it's sped. Yes, it's sped. Okay. You can see that I'm only sewing on the top layer of the fabric. The back of the fabric is pushed aside, because if you sew the top and the bottom together, the problem with that, it's gonna stitch together and you're not gonna be able to wear it. So make sure you push the back of the fabric to the side. Anyways, I just want to make sure that my lining was perfect, and then I pushed my header down, and then I started sewing. And just because it went by really quickly when sewing, and I always use a straight stitch, you can see my Singer machine is on the straight stitch. You're gonna do that frontwards, backwards, and do it frontwards, backwards again. And why do you do that, you ask? You do that because it closes the stitch together. When you do front and back stitches, that's what closes the whole stitch together. Trust me. Anyhow, right here, I grab my fabric scissors, and then I cut the fabric, only the excess fabric. What I did here Nothing crazy. Honestly, all I was doing was cutting the fabric, and then I fixed a little hole that I had right here. Remember when I sewed the tank top and I showed you guys this is how you're going to reserve the tank top? Because I don't know. I thought I was going to use the tank top, but I didn't. What I actually ended up using was the turtleneck. Like I said, this is a whole creative process where, you know, I don't know what I'm doing until I start it. When it comes to my creative ideas, a lot of these are not pre-planned. I've never sketched out an outfit. I just think of it in my head and I start working on it. And then I think of an even better ideas and I go with it. So right here, after cutting the arm sleeves off, I'm, you know, closing the stitch by, well, I'm hemming them basically. I just want them to look cute, because if I just cut the sleeves off, it's not going to look clean. So by doing this inside out, as I said before, doing that inside out, as I said before, and then reversing it at the end. You always reverse the stitch at the end. By reversing the stitch at the end, that's what closes it. If you just do a straight stitch, it's not going to close it. It's that little reverse at the end, but that little reverse you also do at the beginning of stitching, beginning of sewing. You can see right here that, that boy looks clean. It looks clean. This is the inside out, but when I actually wore it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks like I bought it that way. Here, we're going to get into the bucket hat. It still kills me that I really cut that tank top thinking I was going to reserve it, but you're going to see what I end up using the tank top for as you keep watching. The hat. I grabbed this hat after I realized, okay, I did the top, I did a tank top, and I did, like, you know, the turtleneck. How can I make this outfit look better? So bada bing, bada boom, I grabbed the hats. And I grabbed this, remember the sleeves that I cut up? Yeah, we're going to use that. And then we're going to grab a pencil and we're going to draw stars on top of it. What? Because I thought I was just making a yellow outfit, but I said, hold up. We're going to make a star girl outfit. I grab my pencil. I start sketching stars. Sketch away, just like Picasso. I grab my scissors. I start cutting it up. Cut, just like Edward Scissorhands. And then, as I continue cutting, I have 2 pieces of stars. And I'm like, whoa, star girl. What could I do with this? And then, after I had the 2 pieces of stars cut up, right here, I realized, I don't want to stitch it on the hat just like that. That's how it looks like, right? But what could I do to make it look even better? And then I had the brilliant idea where I said, I'm going to use every inch of fabric left, right? That's where the pants come in. I said, these pants I haven't worn in years. These old skinny jeans. So I said, let me grab my highlighter because I don't have chalk. We're using highlighter, yellow because, you know, it's on theme, but also yellow because it's a bright color and I didn't want to use a dark color. So I grabbed the yellow and then I lined my pants. To where I think I'm gonna cut it, right? And then, like, all right, so we're gonna cut it here. And I said, nah, we ain't gonna do that, my boy. We're gonna cut it lower. We're gonna cut it over her. Over here would be the perfect spot for me to do a giant star. Why do I want a giant star, you ask? Because I'm just feeling it. Honestly, that's really it. I'm feeling the giant star. So I cut those pants. I cut another star into the denim. What? Yes, that's right. You can see the pile of yellow fabric I have in the upper left corner of fabric I have left, and I want to use it. I used all my excess fabric to make stars. What I started with was just the base of the outfit, but afterwards I said, we gotta accessorize. So, remember how I cut the denim? Yeah. I cut the denim, I cut the yellow, and I'm basically just going to be sewing this yellow on top of the denim, which is on top of the denim hats. And the method to sewing this is honestly straight stitch as well, where you're going to start the machine, straight stitch for like 3 seconds, reverse stitch, and keep straight stitching. And then you're going to move the hat into different angles so that you can finish a star. This is how one star looks like, and I'm gonna cover the hat in stars. I'm gonna cover the hat with the mesh stars. I'm gonna cover it with the denim stars. I'm gonna cover it with the yellow stars. Why? Because I want to look like a star girl. That's what we're going for. And I just keep at it with that process. I am absolutely loving it. Loving it, loving it, loving it. And here, I'm just showing you a process of how I'm going to do a giant yellow star. This giant yellow star, the mesh star, yeah, that's going on the back of the hat. So I grabbed the mesh yellow star and then, just started sewing it on top of the denim. And as I showed you, well, I didn't really show you before, but this is the best angle I could give to you, is that you're going to sew the star in various angles. So you're constantly going to be pressing on your header foot, constantly going to be pressing the reverse stitch back and forth because it's just a straight stitch. The only annoying part is that it does take a minute, and I'm showing you guys how it looks like. And all I have to do is, you see how clean it looks from the back too? After doing that, I did it again on the yellow star, and on that yellow mesh star, it's gonna go on the denim hat. The amount of times I said yellow mesh and straight stitch in this video is absolutely ridiculous. That'd be a crazy drinking game. Could you imagine? Okay. And just like that, the big star is done. That's going on the back of my denim hat. So I'm moving on to the skirt. Why didn't I finish sewing the whole stars on the hat, you ask? Because then this video would have been 45 minutes. All I really did was cut several stars, and you saw me do 2 stars, which I want to show you how to do, because the rest of this process is honestly just me finishing up the skirts. After I finish up the skirts, I'm really just sewing hella stars onto the mesh top, onto the hat, onto the skirt. So the most important part of this video that I really want to show you is how I got the base done with what I had. I had a long, ugly-ish turtleneck, a large mesh top that my mom gave me, and I'm a small, a skirt that had bleach stains on it, a bucket hat I barely wore, and I made a fabulous outfit. Like, I really revamped it. I grabbed pieces that I barely wore and I made an outfit out of it. Anyhow, as you can see, this is where I said I'm gonna use that yellow tank top. Remember how I sewed it closed and I said, oh, maybe I'll wear it. And I said, I'm gonna use it for something else. So what I'm doing here, after cutting up the top of my skirt, as you saw in the video, I'm going to use yellow for the top of my skirt, because after I did the top and the hat, and off camera I added all the mesh stars, all the patchwork stars onto my top and hat. I showed my friend and he was like, okay, the outfit's dope and all, right? But how are you gonna make bottoms that go with it? The hat looks good, the top looks good, but what bottoms are you gonna wear? And I said, don't worry, sweetheart, I got it covered. And that's where I had the brilliant idea to use that yellow tank top to match the fabric on the skirt. So the whole outfit is going to eat. It's going to eat the girls up. When it comes to me creating, I love to create outfits that make you feel like a cartoon character. All right. So as you guys saw, I was trying to even out the yellow and then denim together so it's around the same length. Okay. And right here, this is how I'm pinning it down. I have to really think strategically on how I'm going to pin it down. You're going to sew from exactly where I'm pinching it. Do you see where I am pinching and showing the camera? Right here. So that edge where the denim and the yellow are basically touching each other, that's where you're going to sew. It's not going to show from the outside, because after you sew that and you see where I pinned the yellow, it just makes sense. Honestly, it just makes sense. Right here, you're gonna close, pin it down, the header's there, and you're gonna do a straight stitch 3 seconds straight stitch, and then boom, reverse, 3 seconds back. That's how you close a stitch. And now you're going straight the whole way. You're just going to use your 2 hands, be very gentle, make sure you can make it as straight as possible. You got it, you got it, you got it. If you've been watching the video this long and you didn't speed through, you're a real one. I love you, I love you, I love you. And yeah, honestly, this is the best outfit I've created in my entire life. Even though I've just been sewing since the month of May, which is crazy because it's December now. I've made around 10 full outfits and a lot of accessories. Very proud of myself, very happy. Right here, I'm just closing the whole fit. At this point, I feel like I'm at the edge of the skirts. And then, bada bing, bada boom, that's done. And you're gonna use your scissors, fabric scissors. Remember what I told you, don't grab your kitchen scissors, grab some fabric scissors, okay? And cutting the excess thread. And I'm showing you the skirts. Okay, that button on the top is the first button I hand sewed. It honestly was not hard. You just watched like a 2-second hand sewing video and you're good. And in the rest of this yellow skirt, remember what I told you? I'm going to use it. I'm going to use the rest of that skirt, the rest of the mesh, rest of the yellow to make pleats onto the denim skirt. All of these ideas just came to me so gradually. All I wanted to do at first was cut that mesh top and make it cropped. And I thought I was going to use the yellow tank top underneath it until I said, let me use the yellow turtleneck. And I said, let me throw a bucket hat in this outfit. And I said, let me throw a denim skirt in this outfit. And we came up with a masterpiece. All right, so we're going to keep sewing. What I'm doing here is I'm doing a straight stitch. And remember what I told you, after the straight stitch, reverse stitch. That's called the back stitch. And you're just going to keep going straight and then stop right there. I measured it to do the pleats. I've done a pleated skirt once before. That first pleated skirt I did wasn't perfect because it was the very first sewing project I did this year. And everyone knows your very first project isn't going to be your best project. But this one, I feel like this video is a very easy upcycle and it's just showing you how to make something basic into something amazing. And what happens when you just utilize your own ideas. I did not watch a tutorial for this. Why? Because upcycling videos are kind of hard to find. I think everyone makes very creative things on their own lens. I've never seen anyone make an outfit like this, so my videos are very original. I can't reference anyone's video when it comes to me making something because the idea is from my mind, and on top of that, I'm using clothes to create new clothes. I'm not buying fabric because fabric is expensive. If you know, you know. So by me utilizing this, I feel like I'm my only search engine, if that makes sense, because I can't find a video of how someone, like how to turn a top into a pleated skirt and a bucket hat and a cropped mesh top. It's so hard to find, but I'm very grateful that I'm able to come up with things like this. I'm doing something I've always wanted to do. If you know anything about me, you know I love Disney Channel and I loved watching That's So Raven. And I always wanted to be a fashion designer, honestly. I always saw myself working in the creative industry, doing something with fashion, something with makeup, something with animation. And here I am, making clothes on my YouTube channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all, and I appreciate you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video, another sewing video for my 14 days of Christmas. And don't forget to subscribe.